in all seriousness,
Please.
I looked at the film and he did step out of bounds, but I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there right now.
That's a big part of it.
But
What do you mean not gonna go there right now? You just went there.
I mean, I know you did. I know you did, but
I stepped out of bounds.
I stepped out of bounds.
They don't even have that
I
camera
gotta
angle
stop.
of the
I
baseline
gotta
like
stop.
that.
All I know is I gotta stop.
Welcome to Out of Bounds. We are here for another NBA update podcast. I guess it's the December recap. I forget the last time we did it. Maybe October, November-ish. But yeah, I mean, we're like almost halfway through the season. We're nearing All-Star break. There's lots of stuff going on. This is actually pretty big news. I mean, this is like our first live podcast. It feels kind of crazy being in the room together with y'all. Everyone say what's up.
Insert applause here.
Hello, it's Sam Ruth.
What's up, guys? It's Azair.
Omkar, good to be back.
Right, this is crazy though. It kind of feels more natural already though. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think like just speaking in person is easier because that's how we usually just talk about sports anyway. Like, dude, like audio call, it's like you gotta worry about like cutting people off and like waiting your turn to speak.
Yeah, word.
So
Yeah, that's probably like the best thing. You can just like see kind of like whatever it's talking. It just feels like a little bit more natural. So let's get started with one of the biggest like new. I guess this is actually like the first trade that actually happened. I think as a part of this season itself. Trae Young getting traded from the Atlanta Hawks to the Washington Wizards for Corey Kispert and CJ McCollum. No picks going either way. I guess initially I thought maybe Atlanta should have gotten a pick for Trae Young, but he only has like I think 1 year left on his deal. So Washington, doesn't have the guarantee whether he'll extend or not. But I mean, it's a pretty big shake-up deal. I guess like Trae Young has been, the face of the Hawks for like the past like 4 or 5 years. He's like he like led them to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like he's definitely like one of their most relevant players in like a very long time. So for him being traded in season, I think is pretty significant. But you could kind of see his time like wore on a bit there. I guess you could see they're a little bit better without him. But just initial thoughts on the trade.
Yeah, bro, it's a crazy trade. I mean, like Trae Young's been their best player in I don't know how long, maybe like 20 years or so. Yeah, since like Kyle Korver, bro. I think he said like Al Horford or something. But yeah, like he's been so associated with the Hawks. It's a crazy trade to see. But I think ultimately it's a win-win for both teams. Like if you're the Hawks, you see the future with Jalen Johnson. You get like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who's been really good. He's been like emerging as kind of like a star player for them. I think he's averaging a career high in like multiple categories. So if you're the Hawks, I think it's just like a turn, trying to go to the next step already. Trying to like aim for a new window and just see what you can get for him. It wasn't a great return, but I think it's like more than anything, you don't have to pay him. You don't have to extend him if he's not a winning player or a player you believe in. And for the Wizards, like you have the benefit of you don't have to extend him, but you can see what he is. If he's able to help your team, maybe he works well with Sarr. So I think, like worst case, it's a win-win for both situations, even if it doesn't pan out directly.
yeah, I think evidently like his stock has definitely dropped a little bit. So that's why like the trade probably wasn't as major as it probably would have been like 2-3 years ago. But ultimately, like you just got to move on. So I mean, the destination's a little interesting. The fact that he would want, I feel like he wanted to go there or something, like to the Wizards. I don't know, but yeah, ultimately he's still a good player. It's just I don't think this environment is like gonna work for him anymore. So just gotta try new stuff, and that's kind of just like the landscape of the NBA. Like I don't think teams want to spend any more than like 4 or 5 years with a star player, and that doesn't work out. So it doesn't matter how good they are on paper. So yeah, Sam, what do you got to say?
I just want to say that it's been 4 or 5 years since I actually watched basketball. Like I know all the names that we're talking about right now, like through like social media and like talking to friends and stuff like that. I do want to get back into basketball. But I don't know. I just feel like I have just talking to you guys and this podcast, whatever. I feel like this could be the start of something.
Hey.
Yeah. So like for someone who hasn't like been keeping up with this, can you guys like go into this trade and like what's the deal? Like who gets what?
Yeah, I mean it's just Trae Young for Corey Kispert and CJ McCollum. So not much assets like going either way. Just kind of like just salary matching. I guess the Hawks, I mean, they'll get like a good like CJ McCollum is like a decent guard. Like I mean he's not like anything too great right now, but like he can still score. And Corey Kispert is like a decent wing. Like he's been on the Wizards. Like he's a pretty good 3-point shooter. Like he's definitely like in the high 40s. I feel like as a career 3-point shooter. So like that's a good get for them. I feel like they're kind of gonna change their identity a bit. Like they have like all these like big wings and like they'll be able to play like a little bit more defensively now. It's interesting. Like I don't know how much he'll really play in Washington though. Like speaking about Trae Young, just because like I feel like they're like a tanking team. Like I think they do have like a top 8 protected pick or something going out. So like I don't think they're gonna like try to be better than that. But I don't know. Like do you guys think like Trae Young will extend there, or like do you guys just think it's like a 1-year like stopgap kind of?
I mean, I was just thinking about that. Like, I don't know if part of the reason why he like requested the Wizards specifically, which is like nobody wants to go there, is maybe he thought he would get that extension. Like I don't know, maybe he's just out on winning at this point, bro. Like there's a lot of players who just check out and are like, I'm just here for the bag. When like Zach LaVine is a good example, like some guy like that. So he could be going that route. But I don't know. Like if you're the Wizards, I think even if you're committed to tanking, he's a decent tank commander. Like he'll get a lot of empty stats, but he'll drop 30 and 10, but he'll get like 35 scored on him, you know. So I think that's why I think it's like a win-win. Even if they are tanking, they have the option of okay, like if it works out, if we somehow have something with him and Sarr, they could extend him. But if not, like all right, we don't have to extend him. We could just move on. So that's why I think it works out for both sides.
Yeah, I think like one thing that I sort of remember when he first got into the league was like he wasn't necessarily. I mean, yeah, he could score, he could shoot the 3-ball, and people comparing him to Steph and all that. But like one of the biggest things, the positives about him was that he was such a good passer, right? Like this dude was averaging like 11, 12 assists like almost every game, right? So I think like that's maybe what the Wizards are looking for. Maybe try to build around what they have. Whatever they have, but I think if they just sort of like focus on that and use that ability of his to the max, then I don't know, they could do something meaning like 35 wins or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I feel like one benefit though is like at least like for the rest of the young players, like at least they have someone who can like handle the ball and like pass and like get their guys like open looks, which is sometimes like I feel like what you need for players who are like young and developing. Like for example, like if you have like some young guard like Bub Carrington or something, like it's not the easiest to just like give him the ball, and it's like a young guy and he like there's a lot of responsibility on his shoulders to be like the lead guard. So I feel like now at least like you have someone where it's like okay, you can kind of take the pressure off him. Obviously they have Trey Johnson now, who's like a pretty good scorer as well, but I think it kind of lets other younger players like fall a little bit more into their roles, and like obviously like Sarr will benefit a lot just from Trae Young's like pick and roll like passing and stuff. Like I feel like he's really good at that, so it's an interesting trade. I mean I feel like we've gone a good amount into this. Now I mean we can discuss like another potential trade. The news is that the Grizzlies are listening for Ja Morant as well, who's kind of been like, theorized like, okay, maybe he should be traded, but now it's like the first time we're seeing that, he's actually on the trade market. What do you guys think about that? Like, do you guys think, I guess it's different because in Atlanta, like you can kind of see they look a little bit better without Trey, and like they have a different identity, but with Ja, like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Grizzlies are like more or less the same. Like, I don't know if they're that much better without him, like as clearly as you could see in Atlanta, but what do you guys think? Like his time has just run out, or like, where do you guys see like him potentially going?
I think with Ja, it's such a weird thing because I feel like he's one of those players where he kind of needs the ball in his hand a little bit more, and so I don't see him playing second fiddle. Definitely not third fiddle. I think he kind of needs to be that guy on a team, and so he has to go to a team where he is that guy. Now, in terms of like, is his time up here? Yeah, I think there's just like too much. Honestly, like even some non-basketball related things, obviously, like even outside of the stuff that he sort of like had to deal with before.
What kind of stuff?
I don't know, man. Just like, but like no, but like for real, like I just think I don't know. I think the culture just like is just not working. He's just like, bro, he's like sitting on the other side of the bench. He's just like out of it. It just seems like he's trying to move on at this point. So when that happens, like you're never gonna be able to do anything with a player if they're just like just don't want to be here. So yeah, I think he goes to. I think he might. I guess him going to the East. Just going to like some East team.
Do you think that another team would take him for his actual value because like of like outside the court he has like a reputation, or do you think like teams are considering, oh yeah, if we do get him, there's also like, you know, this aspect of like his outside the court of how he may perform. So
Bro, a team with like nothing to lose will probably do that. Like if like a team is like have no prospects or something, like yeah, they're like offer whatever. Like they won't really care about that because he's a good player at the end of the day.
yeah.
So that's the way I see it.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that's a good point. Like, it's interesting. I think Ja is like one of those guys where, okay, if you look at it objectively, he's like an explosive guard who's getting more and more inefficient year by year. He's like tanking his trade value. So for the Grizzlies, it's kind of like worst case scenario to trade him at this time, but it looks like the writing's on the wall. But I think there's two sides of it, right? Like if you're a struggling team and you just need like a boom or bust, he's the kind of guy. Like you can look at the bright side of Ja. He's like a high flyer. He's a explosive player. He showed he can rise to the moment in the playoffs. So there's that side of him, but then you also get the Ja who's like an idiot who just like flashes his gun and like does a grenade celebrations and all this actual like dumbass stuff. So I think if you're a team who really needs to play, and I think the Heat like also kind of fall in this category of like, all right, we're kind of stuck right now. We need a swing and see what we have like in this actual build before we blow it up, like send out Bam and everyone. I think that's the kind of player that you can bring into like an organization that holds a player to a standard and see what they have without like risking too much. You know, like a lot of teams don't have a bunch of assets that are competing. So he's the kind of guy I think if you put into like a team that's like on the fence, like from like the 5 through 8 seed, he can maybe like really help that team and also probably help his career in the long run. So yeah, I mean, I don't know where he's going to end up, but I think like that's like Ja's like one of the most polarizing guys where he can be really bad for your team or he can like really improve your team. So
Yeah, just going through like some stats. I mean, this year he's only played in 18 games so far. His point total, he only averages 19 points per game this year, which is the lowest since his second season in the league, 2020 to 2021. He's shooting 40% from the field, which is the worst of his career. He's shooting 20% from 3, which is also the worst of his career. So like he's
20 is crazy, bro.
20.8. Okay, I gotta check that. This is not advanced stats.
Bro,
right?
when there's like a 7'4" guy who's shooting better than you from 3, like this is kind of crazy.
Yeah, like it's just he's struggling right now for sure. But part of it is like I don't know if he believes like in this like who's the coach again? Liaz, I forget Thomas.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
Yeah. He like doesn't believe in the coach's like offensive philosophy because like I think this guy like runs like similar to something like the Heat do where it's like less like ball screens. Then I remember like Ja Morant like protested it. He's like, bro, what are we doing? And he's then he's like, so they started like adding a little bit more ball screens, but it's like, but he's still like a declining player. Like you can't deny that. So it's like whoever trades for him has to rehab his value as like a contract, but also as like a player. And that's the other struggle I see with like a Ja Morant trade is like he's making like $40 million a year. So this year it's like 39 million. Next year it goes up to 42. The year after that, it goes up to 44. So it's like if you trade for him, like you have to get him. You're gonna have him like for 2.5 more years, right? And it's like you have to really rehab his value for him to like be like anyone else want him again. Like, so it's kind of like a poison pill type where it's like, okay, you got to take him, and then it's just like it's yours, bro. Like no one's gonna take him off your hands.
Yeah.
I still feel like he has value, maybe as like a second or third fiddle, but I agree with you. Like, I don't see him doing it, but like I feel like that's like his realized role. Like I don't think he's like the number one on like a championship team. Like he's probably like a secondary, or he'd be a mean 6 man though.
Bro.
Yeah, I know he would not, but maybe that's
40
that's
million.
suspecting.
40 million on the bench is crazy. Yeah, honestly.
But it's insane though. Like, you know, like someone like Ja, like as much as like he's been talked about and like as much as hype as he had around his career, like bro, he made the All-Star game like 2 times, bro. He's like a 2-time All-Star.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not like a crazy like, you know, perennial like star that we're looking at here. Like Trae Young like made the All-Star game like last year or something. So
Yeah.
it's stuff like that, I guess, that like just matters, but
I'm trying to think of like a good team that he would go
I mean, just look at the bottom of the leaderboards, bro. It'd be one of those teams.
the Kings or something.
Yeah, the King-
It could,
actually-
bro. Honestly, that'd be a good package. Not gonna lie. Like
and you sell like tickets, I guess.
38-year-old DeMar, send him. Do they still have Zach LaVine?
Yeah, they still have Zach
Oh,
LaVine.
yeah. Is it time to get rid of Sabonis?
Sabonis.
Nah,
yeah.
probably not. I don't know, bro.
I mean, I feel like Minnesota has a need for a point guard, low key, but I don't know how they would make the
I
money
don't
work.
know
Like
if
I
that
feel
would
like,
work.
yeah, but they have a need for a point guard, low key.
Yeah, but they could probably get a point guard like for half that or a quarter of that.
Yeah,
That's
that's
like
true.
that actually won't cause problems or like wants to be there and like I don't know. I don't know if Ja Morant could fit into that system because Anthony Edwards is that guy. He's not gonna play second to him. So I don't know.
kind of like that, dude. Like you have,
Think so?
Yeah, John Morant's very pick and roll heavy, and then you have like
Yeah.
Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert. You have like a lob threat, and you have actually I guess Julius Randle's not.
Julius
outside.
Randle
I was
off there.
thinking Julius,
Yeah.
but that motherfucker, he shoots too much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it could work. But yeah, maybe.
Yeah, like I don't even like. I know they have like Conley still on the team, but I feel like he's like injured and he's like on his way down. Like I don't really know. So I guess for this next segment, you know, starting now, I guess we're kind of at the stage of the season where like teams are just losing to random opponents, and it feels like a lot. It's like, you know, like you see like good teams losing to bad teams at this point of the season. We're like a month away from All-Star break. You know, like this is the part of the year that happens. And it's kind of weird, I guess, when it happens. But then, like, sometimes, you know, people who are, like, good viewers of the NBA know, like, all right, it's just some regular season, like, thing, you know, it's just, like, people who are, I guess, like, knowledgeable viewers. The people who, like, don't know, like, they might be making, like, crazy takeaways and stuff. I don't know. But it is what it is. It's just that part of the year. But I guess one thing I thought we could do is we could go through, like, a few teams that, like, don't have the best records as of late. And then we can go through and, like, you know, like say if it's like a short-term thing, like do you think they'll fix it? I guess like the three categories will be like, okay, I'm confident that they'll fix it. I think they're cooked, or like I don't know.
Or I just don't know.
Cooked, or we need another seed.
Yeah. Confidence. Okay, confident, cooked.
You got one?
Confused. Confident, cook, or
It's a
confused.
new segment from the Out of Bounds podcast.
All right, guys. This segment is brought to you by insert sponsor here. Confident, cooked, or confused. Rod, you want to explain the segment?
Yeah, so I mean, we're just gonna go through teams. We're like the teams that have bad records, I guess, in their last like 10. I'll consider like a bad record, like I don't know, maybe like 6-4 or worse or something. It's not bad, but it's just like just to go through the teams and we'll see. And then we'll just go through quickly and we'll say like where if they'll fix it. So confident is you're confident that they'll fix it. Confused is you don't know what's gonna happen, and cooked is like you just think they're not gonna fix it and they just kind of suck, right? So let's start with the East. I mean, I think for the West we can definitely spend a little bit more time because I think there'll be a little bit more drama there. But let's start at the East. So Detroit. I mean, even Detroit, like they had a great start to the season. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They lost to the Clippers. We were a little bit hot as of late. They lost to the Heat. They beat the Cavs. They destroyed the Knicks. Actually, they beat the Bulls as well. But what are you guys' feelings on the Pistons? Confident, confused, or cooked?
Yeah, bro, I'm feeling confident with the Pistons. I think this is just a growing team, like their first time really experiencing this much success. So it's just part of the game. Like they're gonna have to go through some growing pains, but like they have a good core, and I think like they're gonna do well in the playoffs. So I'm confident in them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go confident as well. I think it's just been a steady progression for this team in terms of like just getting better, and they're gonna have a rocky path, of course. Like they haven't been as good as they started, but I think Cade's that guy, so confident.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going confident.
I'm gonna go 4 out of 4. I'm gonna say confident.
Let's go.
All right, let's move on to the New York Knicks. I mean, they're 4-6 in their last 10. I thought the Knicks, I mean, they kind of put the league on notice. I thought like at winning the NBA Cup, just because obviously the Spurs took out the Thunder and there was a lot of hype around the Spurs at that time. The Knicks kind of come back to win that game. They're 4-6 in their last 10, so they also lost to the Spurs recently. They lost to the Timberwolves. They have wins against the Heat, against the Cavs, against the Hawks, and against the Pelicans. They lost to the Sixers, just barely beat the Pacers. So they are 4-6 in their last 10. Confident, confused, or cooked. I think I'll go with confident. I feel like all in all, like low, even though they might not finish as the 1 seed in the East, I still feel like they're probably like the best team, just because they have a little bit more playoff experience than the Pistons. I feel like they're probably gonna be like the biggest threat coming out of the East, so I'm confident. I think they'll fix it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go confident too. I think being in the conference finals last year and just like them wanting to probably go to the next step is gonna push them a lot. And come playoff time, I think they're gonna turn it up a notch. So confident.
They're cooked, bro.
They're cooked.
No, I'm kidding.
I like
Hot
that take.
They're cooked.
I like that take.
Go for Umcar.
Yeah, I think I'm like between confident and confused on them. Like they have all the pieces, but they've never been able to take that next step. So I don't know if this is the year. Like the East is kind of wide open. Their only threat is probably like the Pistons, and I don't really know if like the Celtics are going to be able to do anything. But yeah, like I'm confident that they'll be able to do well in the playoffs. But like I don't know if they're going to be like contender for the championship this year. So between those.
Josh Hart is back today, so that's huge for them. If you look at like the reason why they've been losing, I think in the last 10 has been like because they didn't have Josh Hart. They actually did better without Brunson and Josh Hart in than the other way around. So, they need him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at their record. So they're 16-4 at home, but 7-10 on the road. So like, I feel like normally like good teams. I mean, they're not like most teams are not like insanely good on the road, but like they're usually like a little bit better than 500. So I think that's like the aspect they probably got to improve the most. But all right, let's move on. Okay, I'm gonna go to the interesting one. I think this might be, with probably like a few more in the East we'll do. Let's go to the Magic. 22-18. They're 5-5 in their last 10. I don't know, bro. I might low key go cooked. I might go cooked, and the reason I'm gonna go cooked is I just don't think Paolo has looked that good this year. He's been kind of inefficient. And I feel like they're kind of at like a weird crossroads where like, again, like this is a season where they should be like up there, in the East standings. And like, like obviously like the Celtics have the Tatum injury. Like the Pistons kind of came out of nowhere to become like a top team. Like if you look at the teams above them, like there's no reason that they should be behind the Raptors and the Sixers in my opinion. And in fact, like they're like 3 games behind even like the Knicks and the Celtics. So, like, I don't know. I just, like, don't really like the vibes there. And I feel like they're coming to, like, a crossroads soon.
I mean, I think the problem with the Magic, like, for a while has been, like, they have a lot of mouths to feed, and they don't know which guy is going to take that next step. Like, with any good team that has a bunch of offensive threats, they need one guy to take that lead, I think, for, like, them to have any success. At the beginning of the year, it was, like, Franz and Paolo kind of sharing the load. I think Desmond Bane kind of, like, showed some frustrations with that. He's been shooting a lot more since then. But until like they take that next step, I think I'm still kind of confused on them. I don't know if that change will happen this year, especially because I think Franz has been out for a while. And you're saying Paolo like kind of took a back step. I don't know what he's been averaging this year, but I saw he's making some like clutch plays and everything. But the fact that they're constantly in these like clutch games, they're probably not experiencing that much team success. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what Paolo's like actually doing on the court. He seemed fine at a glance, but I bet like if you look close into it, he's probably a little bit more inefficient this year.
20
So
points per game. 20 points per game.
okay, yeah, I mean 20.
I mean that's a step down from last year. He was like 26 last year.
Yeah, 20 is very less for Paolo. That's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely confused on them. We'll see. I think Franz has been out, so maybe when he's back, they'll change it up.
Can you guys let me know what the playoff experience for the Magic has been for the past few years? Because from what I know, like historically, there's just not that good, right?
That's true.
So like, even if they do make it far, like they don't have any experience in terms of like getting to the playoffs and after that. So I just have to go with cooked.
Yeah.
That's a fair take.
I feel like it's good. I mean, I think the past few years, like they've had like competitive first round series, but I don't think they've won a single one.
No.
And they've been at like that same stage, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, I feel like if they do this same thing again, then it's like at some point like you stop like getting the grace of being like a young team, and you might need to make a change. But this might be a team that's cooked.
Yeah, I mean, bro, like last year they got destroyed by the Celtics in 5. The only thing that was, worth noting was the year before they went to 7 games with the Cavs.
Right.
And they lost in game 7, but like that's about it. And then like there's so many just like gaps which didn't even make the playoffs. So the last time they won a round was like guess what team they faced last time they won a playoff round? You want to take a guess?
The Heat. Is it?
No, what's your guess?
The last time they won a playoff?
Last time they won a playoff round. They won 4-0.
Like, was Dwight Howard shit? Like 2009 or some shit?
What's your team? What are you guessing?
The Hawks or something.
What are you guessing?
Oh, the team?
The team that they beat in 4 games. It's fucking hilarious.
Celtics?
The Charlotte Bobcats.
Oh, I was about to say.
The Charlotte Bobcats.
No way.
2009, 2010.
Oh, I got the year.
You got the year. That's crazy. Wait, so what did you say for them? You said no. You cook, confuse, or what? You said
Cooked.
Yeah, I'm gonna say cook, bro. I think the Cinderella story ends here.
Yeah.
Well, here's the question though. Like, do you think they're a trade away, or do you think they have to like rebuild the whole entire thing? Like, I don't know. I feel like they have so many assets with like Bane, like Wagner, and Paolo. So I think you just gotta choose like 2 of those guys and then get what you can for another guy. But I don't know. Like, do you guys think that's the only thing they need to do, or like?
I think at some point they're gonna have to trade one of Paulo or Franz, like low-key. But I think they just traded like so much for Bane. Like I feel like he's a part of it, no matter what, like low-key. But yeah, Paulo or Franz, I think one of them will go.
I think a big thing is like not even just like pieces away. Like you also have to get some playoff experience. Like you look at the Knicks, right? Like they got better this year in a lot of ways. And that comes from going deep into the playoffs. So they got to win at least like a round. Like that should be their goal for this year, is like, because then next year you come in and you're like, all right, now the next step is to get to the second round or like win a championship, right? Or whatever it is. So they need that, I think, just as equally.
All right, we can move on. Let's go to, I think another good team is probably the Cavs. The Cavs are 22-18. They're 6-4. In their last 10. I think I'm going to go confused, honestly. Like, last year, they were phenomenal. I mean, I didn't expect them to be as good as they were last year, this year, but I don't think I expected, like, this stark of a fall-off. Like, they're closer to 500. Last year, at this point, like, they were, like, matching the Thunder's pace. In fact, they were ahead of the Thunder, too, at parts of the season. They were probably, like, 30-5 or something at this point. So, like, I don't know. They're, like, falling off a cliff, obviously, but, yeah, what do you guys think about the Cavs?
I'm just gonna say cooked. We're talking about just this year, right? Like
Yeah,
what's
I
gonna
guess
happen?
just this
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
right.
So I'm gonna say cooked. I just don't think like, I don't know. I mean, they'll probably win like a first round, but like, I don't know. I don't really trust them after like what they did last year. Like, you can't do that. Like, you cannot win 60 games and then go out the way you did. So I don't know. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, but like the entire team besides him did not show up last year in the playoffs, and that's what I'm gonna be looking out for. So. Cooked based on last year, but subject to change.
I'm confused. So you can go ahead,
He's confused for many.
I'm confused for many reasons.
So yeah, LeBron, 2016. Nah, I mean, I agree. I think the Cavs are definitely cooked. Like, I think they've been mentally cooked since the last playoffs. Like, they destroyed the Heat in the first round, and then I think after that, they just thought maybe like it would continue, but they had a rude awakening against the Celtics. It's the Celtics, right? That beat them. I forget. Yeah.
Oh, no, Pacers.
Pacers. Okay, yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I think they're like, since that moment, they haven't been the same team. Like, they were expected to kind of dominate the East this year. It's been wide open, but I think just defensively, like, they kind of fell off a little bit. And every game I see is just Donovan Mitchell like carrying them, like scoring like 40, hitting buzzer beaters, and that you can't win like that. Like, that's like the original Cavs LeBron, like that. They never were able to do anything. So I think they're cooked. Yeah.
I see Lonzo's on the Cavs.
Hey.
That's my
There
boy.
we go.
That's my boy.
Last time you watched basketball, he was on the
He's on
Lakers.
Lakers.
Wait, so you said confused, cooked, and Raj said confused.
I said cook. Or no, I said confused. Yeah, I said confused.
Damn. I feel like low key confused is just as bad as cooked in some ways. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's do the Heat. 20 and 18, 5-5 in their last 10. Omkar, you got it.
Yeah, bro. I think we've been in a state of confusion for 5 years now. I don't know how to get out of it, bro. Like, I think the Heat just have Alzheimer's as a franchise, bro. But yeah, I mean, like, we're in a weird spot where we'll go 42 and like 40 every year, but it's just like we depend on some player taking the next step in the playoffs, and that's been Jimmy for a while. We don't have that anymore, and I don't know if like Hero or Powell, any of these guys can really like go off in the playoffs. So yeah, I think we're just like in a state of confusion. We're just hoping some guy will take that next step. I don't think it'll happen this year, but like, I don't know. We'll probably get in the playoffs and make it competitive for a few teams. We'll see.
Yeah, I think this team with like a superstar would be insane, but clearly that's not gonna happen. You guys have a lot of costly players, so yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go along with that confusion, and yeah, it's just like that's just how it goes, man. Like you're a team that just put yourself in a position where you don't have a superstar, but you just have like a couple really good players, but not enough to like take you over the hump of, you know, facing like a Sixers or like a, I don't know, like a Detroit or something in the playoffs. Like, it's just not gonna work out. So confusion, but then again, I would say maybe like 50% of the teams that we're talking about are probably gonna be confused.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with confused as well. I think they started off like the year pretty well. And I guess like I'm just looking through like the game logs right now. Like they had like kind of like they had a lot of wins early on in the season. Like I guess when their offense was like new. I think last podcast we discussed like they were like pretty high up in the standings. But I guess like, you know, over time like the film will get out, like teams will make adjustments and stuff. And I feel like it's kind of getting back to normal now. But yeah, I think I'd still go with confused because like I don't really know where it goes for them from here.
I'm still confused too.
He was like, "What? LeBron's not on the Heat anymore?"
Oh, dude. Yes, sir.
Fingers crossed.
All right. I think that's pretty good on the East.
Yeah.
Let's go over to the West. I mean, speaking of, we can start with the Thunder. They're 32-7, 6-4 in their last 10. Obviously, they started off the year like pretty hot. I think they were like 24-1. Like, you know, there was a lot of talk about whether they'll match the record or not. They've kind of fallen from there, obviously, but still 32-7. I don't know. I'm pretty confident that they'll fix their stuff. I think it's just a result of being a little bit tired and. You know, they've played a lot of basketball. They basically played until July for going to Game 7 of the finals. And, like, they went pretty hard in the first run of the season. But I feel like they're getting to a point where, like, teams are just kind of, you know, they're getting to the point where, like, teams are giving them their best shot every night. And sometimes, like, they're kind of going into games, like, expecting to win or expecting to win once they go up 20. And it's, like, that's just, like, not how the league works, right? Like, you have to, like, fight through it all. I see, like, a little bit of, like, dead legs on, like, defense and, like, three-point shooting and stuff like that. But I think it's still more of like they're just not matching the energy of teams who are coming in and giving them their best shot. So I think I'm pretty confident that they'll fix it. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go confident as well. I think like obviously they're the best team in the league for a reason, and yeah, I mean they've been kind of slipping a little bit, but ultimately that's just gonna happen for the reasons that you said. I feel like did it start happening when J-Dub came back, like low key?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a little bit like rocky from his injury, but yeah, like ever since he came back, like the offense has kind of taken a step back. So I think that's part of it, but he's still working his way back in.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say confident. I mean, there's not too much else to say. They're just like a good team, and you would expect the best team or the team that won the championship last year to like, you know, to just like figure it out. So I'm sure they will.
I have to go with confident.
Nice, bro. Yeah, I think you definitely got to be confident in this team. Like they just came off of a deep championship like playoff run, so obviously there's gonna be a point in the season where like they get tired and they're not able to keep up. I think the only concerning part would be like 3 of the losses came from one team, so you got to like look at that and maybe think like, okay, like are we putting something on film that they're able to capture, or is it just like they're coming up against like a 7'5" dude who's like a freak, you know? So yeah. It could be something that you could fix on film, or it could just be like, all right, we're gonna run into this guy every year for 5 years. So I think that is something you got to examine if you're the team. And then yeah, maybe like you got to look at how J-Dub is fitting in with the offense. I think his like shot has been a little bit worse. Like that's what I've noticed. So maybe if he fix that, it could be an easy fix for the team. But ultimately confident, like probably still the best team in the league, like by miles. But yeah, like some cracks are showing. So.
But how confident though? Like, at the same time last year, do you, like to see if they were confident enough to win the championship? Do you think like are you at the same confident level right now, Raj?
I mean, I don't think I was that I wasn't like 100% sure they'll win last year, because like I don't know, like going from, I guess when I think they had like about the same record. I think like last year they were like 32-6 or 31-5 or something like that. But it's like, I don't know, going from 31-5 to like finishing at 68 wins is like still pretty insane, because that means like you basically doubled the pace. So I think like I was more confident like by the time we got to the playoffs, but yeah, I mean, I think they definitely like the Spurs like present like problems to them that they haven't been able to solve yet. But I think like part of it is like I feel like they're kind of overcompensating like in trying to guard Wemby while like letting like other people, like they're just like focusing on Wemby and they're like doing a good job on him, but then other people on their team are kind of cooking us, and like that's like where the issue lies. But yeah, I'm pretty confident that they'll fix it. Although like it's kind of like they're like, I would say they're a very good team, but their flaws are noticeable, bro. Like at times, like their 3-point shooting will fall off, and it's like the offense gets into a slog, and then it's like if their defense is not there, like they could lose games. But the same thing happened to them last time, and I feel like they won. So we'll just see how it goes. I mean, I think it's their flaws are noticeable, but it is what it is.
True.
All right, let's move on to the Spurs. I mean, the Spurs are the second seed. But ever since they beat the Thunder, you know, the 3 times, I think they were like everyone like was kind of zoning in on them. They're 6-4 since then. And going to their games, I mean, let's see. After they beat the Thunder, they lost to the Jazz, the Cavs, then they beat the Knicks, and then they lose to the Trailblazers. They lose to the Grizzlies, and then they have wins over the Lakers and Celtics recently. But I mean, they're also kind of a team that's like, I feel like I was really scared of them after the Christmas games or whatever, and they were in 3-0. But then like I think they kind of showed their inexperience a little bit, and I still feel like they're like a year away. I don't think there's anything for them to fix though. So like I'm not gonna say like I'm confident. Like I think this is just like who they are. So maybe I'm just like, I don't know, like neutral. I guess like maybe confused or something. I don't know. It's kind of like a weird bucket. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm confident in them. Like if you look at like the trajectory of where they're supposed to be, they're probably ahead of the curve a little bit. Yeah. Like they're competing with like some of the top dogs in the conference, and somehow they're the second seed. So I think if you look at like the playoffs, there are a team that could make a run. Like obviously they're going through a rough patch, but like any growing team, like it's gonna happen at some point in the year. If they're able to get through that, and like given like Victor's playing like 20-25 minutes a game, like in the playoffs and then later in the season, we'll probably ramp it up a little bit more. So if he's able to like, you know, do well in the system, which he probably will, they could probably be a great team. So pretty cool.
I would say confident too, because we just gave some of the teams that were in the Eastern Conference, they're in the middle of the pack, as confident, and the second seed in the Western Conference, I'm gonna have to say confident.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say confused, and maybe not for the same reason as Raj, but because ultimately they're in this weird spot where, like, it's regular season, right? So they can do this, but they have their like gargantuan player, 7'5", coming off the bench, right? Playing like what 20-25 minutes a game.
He's still coming off the bench, bro.
He's coming off the bench, like it's crazy. Never seen before.
It's got to be strategic, bro.
It's got to be. But like I'm wondering, like in a playoff situation, like this is not gonna hold up. Like you're gonna need this guy to play like more than 30 minutes. And I just don't think. If like I don't know if he's injury prone or what's going on with him, but like you're gonna need him, and if he's not there, like they're not gonna win a playoff series with Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox. It's not gonna happen. And these guys have been performing well, but like I don't think that's gonna be enough. You're gonna need him maybe even 40 minutes, right? Depending on who they're playing. There's a lot more teams that they're gonna face that have more playoff experience, even if they've been beating them in the regular season. So I'm gonna go confused just based off of that.
You're not sure if he's gonna be able to handle playing 40 minutes a game. Like he's only like successful in that, or what is your concern?
Exactly. Yeah, I think the confusion is. I think it's a team confusion because it seems like they're just going with this plan for the rest of the season, at least until All-Star. I don't know what they're gonna do after, but where he's coming off the bench and playing 20 whatever minutes that he's playing, and I just want to know and see like what they're gonna do once playoff starts. So maybe they could probably get by the first round with him still coming off the bench. But after that, like, they're gonna have to figure something else out.
I think you got to start him in the playoffs. If you don't, that's just like incompetence
They're
of the
just trolling.
franchise.
They're just trolling.
Yeah.
What about his minutes though? Is he like playing starter level minutes, or is he just like?
No.
He's playing like 20, 25 minutes since he's been on the bench for some reason.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I mean probably like 25, I would say, and maybe. Yeah.
But what about his efficiency as he's playing? Is it good?
He's killing, bro. Like he's
I mean,
he's playing real well.
It must be something.
He's a pretty good basketball player.
He's good. I mean, if I had to predict, like, I think they'll probably win the first round series because, like, at this point, I think they're gonna get a higher seed. And like right now, like the problem is like, okay, so Denver is probably their biggest competition for the 2 seed, and like Jokic is out for like a month, so like I think they have a pretty good handle on the 2 seed. Like the next behind is like Minnesota at like 4. They're like 2.5 games behind, but I still don't have confidence that they'll get them. So if they're like the 2 seed, they're playing like, okay, I'm looking at like Phoenix at the 7. I think they'll beat Phoenix, bro. Like,
Oh yeah, no doubt.
so I think they'd beat Phoenix. And then like I don't know, I probably think they'd lose in like a competitive second round series to like the Nuggets or whoever the heck. Probably the Nuggets.
Right.
But yeah, we'll see. It's still, I would say like, I think I'm confident that they can do at least that. I think I'm just confused that like I don't know if they're like a true contender. I still feel like they're 1 year away. So like it's like hard. I don't think they have anything to fix really. All right, let's move on to Denver. Denver 25-13, 4-6 in their last 10. I mean they've had some impressive wins without Jokic. I just mentioned that Jokic was injured. They beat the Celtics without Jokic, which is pretty crazy. Because Celtics have been playing pretty well, but then they have losses against the Cavs, the Nets. They did beat the Sixers, and they got destroyed by the Hawks. So I don't know. I mean, I think I'm a bit confused because I think if everyone is healthy on this team, they're like easily like probably the second best team in the West. Maybe even like you could think like, oh, they might even take the Thunder this year because they're like a better team than they were last year. But I'm just like confused because I don't know who's gonna be healthy and who's not, bro. Like they've been missing Aaron Gordon most of the year. Christian Braun just came back and he's been like kind of terrible. Cam Johnson has not looked as good as like expected, and Jokic is hurt. So
Yeah.
like there's a lot of factors there to parse through.
I think it's a little tough to really choose one of the 3 for them right now since they have so many injuries and stuff. Still, like I'm gonna assume that like because we're still pretty early in the season, all things considered. Maybe like we're like halfway through, but like, yeah, I think Jokic will come back. I think Aaron Gordon will hopefully be fine, and I'm gonna say confident for them because yeah, he's back. Yeah, damn. I think they'll be back in full form by the end of the playoffs, and I'm pretty confident in them. If you have Jokic, like, you know, all things are possible. So, yeah, I think they're just here to stay and be annoying.
Yeah, I think they've had a history of performing well in the playoffs, so I mean, no reason to doubt it. So I'm gonna say confident. But also, Jokic's horse ended up performing so good this year, so I think that's gonna carry over too. He's gonna be excited to bring it to the NBA.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, but he hates basketball though.
All right. We good on the Nuggets?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
All right. Let's see who else. I mean, we could go through all like. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say.
It's not a big deal. I mean, I'm just confused on them, bro. Maybe that's why I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like they haven't played much together with like their core guys, and like even if they're back, you said like Cam Johnson. A lot of the guys who were supposed to take a step up, they kind of regress, like Cam Johnson and Christian Braun. So you can only be confused with them. Like obviously with Jokic, anything can go in the playoffs, but like just looking at how they are in the regular season, there's no way you can be like super confident in them, I would say. So yeah, I'd say confused.
All right. Let's move on to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're 25-14. They're 6-4 in their last 10. I mean, they've been kind of making a steady run up the standings. I feel like they were more in like the play-in range, and now they're like sitting at the 4 seed. I don't know, like low key, I might choose confident, just because like I don't know. This is the team that's made the conference finals the past 2 years, And like I feel like no one ever picks them to like. I mean, I'm not picking them to like win the championship or anything, but like I still feel like they could beat teams when it comes to the playoffs. Like even if they play like the Nuggets or something, like I don't think the Nuggets would easily beat them. Like they've kind of had like the Nuggets number, and like they had a win against OKC recently where like Anthony Edwards hit like a crazy game-winning shot, and he just like looks a little bit better than he was last year. And it's like it all rides on him, obviously. But like I know losing Nikhil was really big for them, but I still just feel like, bro, they have Ant, like he's like a good player, like they have a good defense. Like I think they'll have a chance.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like, I'm still gonna go confused on them, but I do see how they can beat every team. I'm gonna say confused because I don't know if Ant's ready to take that next step in the playoffs, and he's able to like be that guy who's gonna like, do everything that's needed for like a playoff contender. But I could see on paper how they can beat every team. Like they do have a big, and they do have like a dynamic big that they can play different systems with against those top teams who have like really good like centers. So I can see both ways. I just don't know if I'm confident enough that they'll like actually have some real playoff success. So yeah, I'm gonna go confused.
I'm gonna go confident just because, and when I say confident, I don't think confident necessarily means like they're gonna win a chip, right? I don't think that's what we mean for any of the teams when we mean confident. Maybe some of them, but like I think confident for them just means like they got to get back to the conference finals. I think they can, depending on who they face and how the brackets work out. But like, compared to where they are now, I think they'll sort of figure out like a better, just like routine and rhythm. And yes, it all rides on Anthony Edwards. But if he's playing well, I think like his teammates will also play a little bit better. But he really can't like have bad games. It rides on that, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with confused. On to the next one.
Yes,
sir.
Let's go on to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Lakers.
So they're 4-6 in their last 10. Yeah, I mean the vibes there are just definitely not great. I don't know, bro. Like, so they're sitting at the 5 seed, so it's not like the end of the world. Like they're 23-13. They do have like a negative point differential though, which is like pretty crazy for being like that high. Like, so their point differential is minus 0.3. That's like more in line with like being like the 9 or 10 seed versus like being like the 5 seed. So I think like it's good that it's not cooked for them, but like I still just don't like the vibes there. Like, so I think I'm gonna go with cooked. Although I feel like they can't really fix anything this year just because like their way that it's set up. I feel like they can't make a major move. I feel like the issue is like I think I've been saying this about the Lakers. It's just like
LeBron.
I don't think it's only LeBron. Like it's like you have like Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves, and like none of those three are like good defenders. I think that's like the major problem. So like you're trying to like play defense and it's just like not happening. And like I guess part of the issue that I also see is like Luka is like putting up like crazy counting stats, but I don't know if the impact is as high because his turnovers are high and his field goal percentage is like pretty low. And also like his 3-point percentage is like not as high. So I think like there's a few games where he does get like a good rhythm from 3, but it's like I'm like it's a little bit concerning, bro. I feel like I was talking about this before the season started. I was just like, okay, if Luka is still like doing like this weird like injury shit where like it looks like he can't move, like I might just think like this is just how he's gonna play for the rest of his career, bro. Like he just like does not move well. Like I feel like he can't really get to the rim. So like because of that, he just has to do like these weird like awkward like drives where he gets the paint, he tries to like pump fake, get a foul, doesn't go, throws up a weird floater, or it's like step back like crazy contested 3, which he can do sometimes. Like he still averages like 33 points a game, but it's like it's hard to sustain that and like win. And I feel like we're seeing that. What do you guys think?
Cooked. Big cooked. Next.
I think as long as LeBron is breathing and is on the court on the Lakers, they are always confident in them. Always confident.
Nah, bro. I mean, I'm like the biggest LeBron fan, but they're super cooked, bro. Like it hurts to watch them this year, bro. Because like I think you see the worst in Luka and LeBron like with this team, just because there's no actual coach to like rein them in. So you just see like the worst body language you will ever see, like in basketball players. If that's your like top players, then there's no way you do anything good. Like I think in the playoffs they're just gonna like get blown out by 40. Luka will have like 50 points on like 30%, but I don't know if they'll be able to actually do anything. So I think they're cooked.
Bro, I just love seeing JJ Redick just like be so frustrated and just like shit on his team like the entire time. He's just
Yeah.
like, these guys suck. Like, I mean, to be fair, what he's saying does kind of make sense. He's like basically saying like they're trying to run plays, but the guys are not where they're supposed to be. But I don't know, like it's just like you gotta wait till LeBron leaves and then maybe something will happen. I'm not saying he's a problem, but I just don't think JJ can like take full reins of this team until LeBron leaves.
Yeah, I mean it's just tough though, because it's like, so if LeBron leaves, then like I guess you have all that salary slot, but then like what do you do with Austin Reeves? Like you guys think he's like a max player? Like because the way that his
No.
stats are, like
They're-
he's gonna get a max. He's averaging like 25 per game. Like that's a max player. So like, were you confident like giving him a max contract and suddenly like having two like max contract guys that don't play defense is just hard to build a team around? That's what I think.
Yeah, I think the defense is huge. Yeah, they don't really have the defensive guy. They should get John Morant. He'll play defense. Yeah. F the Lakers.
I mean, honestly, like they've been able to get by. Like you saw the beginning of the year when it was just Austin and like Luka. They were
Yeah.
kind of going crazy.
Yeah.
And, like because they had a lot of different guys who could fill like roles, and I think they're a lot more coachable. But like LeBron is kind of just like a logjam in there where he's really good offensively, but he's not gonna like give his best effort, and he can't. Like he's like 50 years old, so like you can't blame him. But it's just like freeing up that spot. I don't think you need to like. I think you can max those two guys and just fill them with other players who are willing to play a role and just willing to play hard.
Yeah.
And that might be good enough to like get them over the hump. So I think you probably have to max Austin Reeves after like
See.
seeing what you do without LeBron.
That
you know?
sounds disgusting.
Yeah, it sucks, but I think they have to if you get rid of LeBron.
Bro, if I see a Shams breaking news of Austin Reeves 4-year like 200 million or something, I will die.
Yeah, we'll see. He's been injured too recently, so let's see. All right, let's do our last team, and then we'll probably call it after this. The Houston Rockets, 22-13, 5-5 in their last 10. I don't know what to make of this team, man. Like, they have a +8, like 7.8 point differential, which is insane. That's like second in the West after the Thunder. Like usually the mark of a contender is like plus like 6 or 7. They're at +8, which is like insane. But at the same time, they're like 22-13 and behind the Lakers, who we just shat on. So it's like I don't know like what's going on. Like they are 11-2 at home, 11-11 on the road. Like that is such a stark contrast. It's kind of like what we saw. What was it, like the Knicks? I think we were just talking about were like that. Yeah, it's kind of like the Knicks, but I don't know, man. Like I don't know. I might just go confused. Like I don't know what to think about this team. Like
Same with Hugo.
How to think about this one? I'm really confused too, man. Not much to it. Yeah.
Rockets. I'm definitely not gonna say confident because like I just don't think like their identity is so like dubious to me. Like I'm gonna go confused. I just think like yeah, KD's KD, but he's not the KD, you know, that could carry, I think, necessarily. And the players they have just like yeah, they're good. They have some good players. They got Amen and Alperin, but like I'm just thinking about playoff scenario. Like, are these guys actually gonna do anything? Like, are they gonna make the impact that they need to make, or is it just gonna like fizzle out? So, admittedly, I haven't watched a lot of their games or really any of their games this season, but
Same.
just from what I've seen around like the team, it's just it's very just sort of in the middle. That's kind of how I feel about them.
Yeah, I'm like strangely confident in the Rockets just because like I believe in their build a lot. Like their coach is really good. Like he's probably one of the top 5 coaches, I would say. Like he knows how to run a great system, like on offense, defense. The players obviously might not like be able to uphold it, but I think they have great offensive rebounders. Raj mentioned like very like great plus minus or whatever that stat was that marks contenders. So I think they have what they need. But they lose a lot of close games. Like you'll see a lot of times where like Sengun will throw up some bullshit like shot, not pass it to KD, So like I think once they figure out that KD is the guy who has to take those like last minute shots and they figure out their roles more, they could be scary. I think you said like 11-2 at home, 11-11 on the road. That's just like the mark of a KD led team. It's like mentally weak as fuck, you know.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to expect that. And I think Sengun has been out for a few games, so I think once they get him back, they might probably like correct the course a little bit. I think they could do something in the playoffs, just like how their team is built. So confident, that's it.
Yeah, it's just tough. Like, but I feel like that's been an issue with KD's whole career. Is like he's never been able to like get the ball and like clutch. Like if it's like some guys there that's like do good at ball denial. It's like you can make sure that he doesn't get the ball, bro. And that's like been the story of his career. Like you go back to the Thunder days. Like there's so many games where it's like, bro, why didn't like they give the ball? It's like, bro, he's like unable to get the ball for some reason. Like he's unable. Like he's just like not running around. He just kind of like posts up. So it's fine. But like I don't know. When I look at that team, like I see kind of like a bizarro version of like the Thunder where it's like they can like lock up defensively, but at the same time like their half court issues might be even worse than the Thunder, because like at least like in the Thunder, like if they're playing like you have like Shea hitting, it's like okay, this is like some mid-range guy, he's like the MVP level, he's like crazy in ISO, and like you also have like J-Dub who like okay, theoretically in the half court he could also be hitting one game, but like the Rockets have like maybe one guy like that, and like the rest is like I don't know, like it's just gonna be like a dirty game kind of, you know. But like they have good players, so I think they'll still be kind of a scary threat to verse. All right, boys, I think that's good. Let's call it.
All right, that was cooked, confident, cooked, or confused.
First live party.
Hey, good job, guys. We will see you guys next time. Maybe live, probably Discord.
Some Discord. You can try Discord video.
Yeah, we'll try Discord video next time. But thanks.
If you guys like this format, all our fans,
Yeah, we love you guys, international fans. We'll be back. We'll be back before All Star, or you want to do it like after All Star?
Probably after All Star.
Probably after.
I'm not gonna be here.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna be here.
I'm not. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see you guys after All Star break. Then we'll really start talking about playoffs a little bit more. This
Trade
is
deadline stuff will be there too.
trade deadline. Samuels will be back.
More educated next time.
Yeah, we're building his knowledge bank. He's don't even. I will watch it. I'm just kidding. All right, guys, we'll see you later.
I think I roped into this.